We're finally going to test the GHD Unplugged. This right here is their first cordless flat iron. It's basically a mini version of the regular sized GHD flat irons, but it's cordless. This comes in at $299 US plus tax. Very, very, very expensive, but we'll see if it's a great investment. This right here is what it looks like. It is currently charging. It's very mini, very cute, very sleek. This right here is their regular size. You can see how much smaller this one is, but they're saying this one right here, the unplugged version, is supposed to perform just as great as the regular size. So I said, you know what, let's go for it. Let's put it 1-to-1 and see which one will perform better. So this right here, because you do have to charge it, I think they said 2 hours to get the full charge and then 80 minutes to get 80% charge. I had this charging all night long and it's still charging today to the 5 bars. You do have the 5-bar indicator for the charge, which is great. You have the on-off button, which is their typical 365 degrees Fahrenheit. You can't go higher, you can't go less, so it kind of just gives you that temperature for you. So that's the only issue I'm having right now. There it is, it's fully charged, stop blinking. And they're saying for a full charge, you can get up to 20 minutes of continuous use depending what you're doing to your hair, how thick your hair is, how long, how short, what type of hair you have. This right here is my natural hair. Very frizzy, has a little bit of a wave happening, so we'll see if we can get it nice and straight. So let's go for it. All right, let's do this side right here, and we're gonna try one pass first to really see if it does a good job. And I usually try to have, if I'm straightening my hair, have a brush to kind of comb the hair through. Plates are very smooth, just like GHD. Did a pretty decent job for one pass, but you can see still underneath for a section that was kind of thick, it didn't really get all the way through the hair. So I would have to go at least twice, at least up here towards the top to kind of get it through. I think this is, I'm already thinking ahead. I think this would be good for people to literally touch up the roots because it is so tiny and precise. You can kind of get like right up in there. This one did much better for the one pass. I think you can even see in the hair, this one's way more shiny versus this one, even towards the ends. See that? I do appreciate how tiny it is. You can definitely get quick results with one pass. It's just, like I said, you'd have to go over those certain areas that are a little bit more frizzy, a little bit more curly, wavy. But I feel like if you have very, very thick, coarse, curly hair, this would literally just be for touch-ups around the roots. They're not really marketing this as like style your entire head type of a tool, which is unfortunate because it's so expensive, you know? That's pretty good for one pass. And if you're wondering, I spilled coffee on myself right there. The regular sized one, it's definitely more powerful because it has continuous heat, not heat, it has continuous power going through. So it's keeping it at a consistent temperature versus this one, the battery's dying as you're using it. And another thing I want to mention about the Unplugged is it does have an auto shut off mode at 3 minutes if you're not using it. So it's definitely trying to conserve the battery life, which is great, but also not great when, let's say, you were trying to run after your kid or something, you know what I mean? But I understand because they're trying to conserve the battery. As you can see, we've only been playing with this for how many minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, and it's already, we lost 1 bar. All right, so this is, I think, pretty good example of what you're going to get. One pass. I tried to keep it as one pass as possible, but this right here is just the one pass. Regular sized versus the mini cordless. You're definitely getting a better result with the regular size just because you're getting a lot more of a consistent heat going through your hair. It's a lot more powerful versus this side, you get the benefit of having no cord, which is really phenomenal. I think I did a pretty good job. Let's finish this up. I like that the plates are not snagging your hair. It makes it very comfortable to style. Okay, so now you can see, I feel like a little bit more of a comparison one-to-one. So we have unplugged versus the regular size, both GHD. So I'm personally seeing a little bit more of an even consistency, very smooth, very even, very straight. You can see where I clamped right in here versus on this side, there is a little bit still of a wave, a little bit of a bend happening from my natural hair texture and hair wave. But it's not as smooth and even and consistent as the regular size, which again, it all goes down to the heat and consistency of the heat going through the plates. It's definitely, just like they say, it's a touch-up on the go type of a styler. I think it's also really good, I'm gonna keep repeating myself, really good for touch-ups around the root because it is so much smaller and closer to the edge of the packaging, so you can get really nice and close to the roots of your hair to get it nice and precise and even and straight or whatever look you're going for. But if you're going to style your entire head of hair, first you're gonna have issues with the battery. It's gonna keep dying on you because, I mean, we charged it overnight and then a couple of hours when we got here and we already lost all 3 bars, so now we're down to 2 and I have to keep charging it. So you're gonna have issues with battery if you have any longer hair, if you have any thicker hair, coarser hair than myself. If you have shorter hair, if you just kind of want to touch up, I think you're fine with the 20 minutes. Usually it should probably take you 5 to 10 minutes to fix your hair. But if you're looking for like a really beast of a hair tool, this is not it. It's not comparable to the regular, even with results. All right, you know what? I figured, why not compare it to the Dyson? Why not? The Dyson is an extra $200. We're coming in at $499 US, but this already right here at $299 is already a very expensive hair tool for what they're offering, for what it does. So an extra $200, you get way more options and a way longer battery life. So let's go for it. Let's turn this on. And I am going to turn it on to similar temp, which is 365, which is GHD 365. With the Dyson, you have a full-sized flat iron. Another biggest thing, what makes this flat iron so expensive are the flexing plates. They pretty much keep all of your hair inside the plates instead of spreading them through the plates and then losing that section of hair if it's too big or too wide. Dyson tries to keep the section of hair nice and straight and even, therefore giving you really consistent, even results. And also you have a different setting for your heat. You have 410, 365, and 310, I believe, Fahrenheit. I mean, you just get a lot more options with this tool right here. And the other thing is you can charge it if you're not using it. So put it back on its little docking station, charge it while you're switching your section or you're running after your child. So I do appreciate that you can just throw it back on here and it's magnetic. So you don't have to have any extra wires into the hair straightener itself. You just need the docking station. And I did travel with this and I did not take my charger with me just because I knew I was only going to style my hair twice or 3 times, and it does last me 3 times to style my entire head and even touch-ups. We have 2 more sections left. So we have this one and then the top section. Let's see if the GHD will come through with battery life. I will say I'm kind of disappointed that the battery is so low, especially for that price, because there are already several different companies and brands that have cordless tools and they have a longer battery life. And if you're wondering, you can't use it while it's charging. I'm gonna put it back on charge while I'm doing the Dyson side. And it does turn it off right away once you put it in charge. Okay, so now that we're done with the full head of hair, we did 3 tools. GHD Unplugged versus the original GHD versus the original GHD versus the Dyson Cordless Corral flat iron or hair straightener. So you can see the overall result. It's very similar, but you can definitely see that the Dyson obviously over-accomplished. Overachieved. It's an overachiever, let's just put it that way. It's a really phenomenal hair straightener that's very expensive, but a really great hair investment tool. The GHD definitely still has a little bit of improving. You can see that some of these last pieces, there's still a little bit of the natural bend just because it was on its last leg. It was dying, it was screaming, give me life, give me juice. So it did not perform as well as in the beginning when it was a full charge. It had a lot of life to it. It was like, let's get to it. I got this. I got you. And then it was like, save me, but whatever. Overall, I don't think you need this tool in your life. It's way too expensive. It's way too tiny for what it's offering for its price. You can get the full version right here. I believe these are under, are they still around $200? I believe they are. The full price for the full tool, I believe they're around $200. They're still very expensive, but GHD, I would say, is a very good hair brand tool that they're very trustworthy. Their quality is really great. I've had these for years and they've never died on me. I've traveled with them. I've used the converter with them and they're really great. I've never had any issues with them. This right here, I'm gonna keep repeating myself. I probably said this already 5 or 6 times. This is definitely a touch-up on the go type of a tool. The battery life is way too short. It's not as powerful. Yes, it's 365, but again, because it's trying to conserve the battery, it shuts off after 3 minutes if you're not using it consecutively. So that's the only thing. It's kind of annoying, but I understand and I appreciate that they're giving the shut off a lot earlier than normal tools, which are usually around 15 to 30 minutes auto shut off. So I do like they're trying to conserve the battery. I think there's a lot of things to consider if you do or you are looking for a cordless option and you do want to spend some money, you do want to invest, and you're looking for a full hair size tool. This is not it. This is not it right here. It's not gonna do much for you for your full head of hair, especially if you have a lot, if it's curly, it's thick, it's coarse, or even it's just my hair length and it's my hair texture, which is naturally very fine. It's not super curly, it's not coarse, it's easy to style, you know what I mean? So I will show you what it comes with. It comes with a little pouch that you can stick your hair tool in here, even when it's hot. That way you don't burn anything in your purse, in your travel case, your hands, etc. So I do appreciate how tiny it is. I love how tiny it is. That's the one thing I will give it. It's so perfectly proportioned to toss it in your bag, your carry-on, your suitcase, your purse, whatever else. Keep it in your car with the charger. I will say don't put the charger in here when it's hot. Don't do it. Don't do it. This right here is what the charging block looks like, and this right here is the charging cord. It's very short, and yeah. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching, spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.